Wanted to talk about the fact that investing in property is scary. Buying something that is so expensive that for most people in their lives will be the most expensive purchase of their life is scary. Yes, there is a lot of debt attached to it, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. My name's Thomas O'Regan and I have a 9 property portfolio. I make these videos to help people get educated on investing in property here in Australia. So I'm going to be honest with you guys. Before I bought these 9 properties that I have now, I had 2 properties before that. And just to be completely honest, those 2 properties were a mistake. But what I learned through buying those properties and owning those properties is I learned what I need to not do to be a successful investor. And if I never took the step in the first place and made the mistakes, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be here saying, my name's Thomas O'Regan, I have a 9 property portfolio. You know, I wouldn't, and if I didn't realize and learn from the mistakes that I made, if I didn't take action and then learn from the mistakes, I wouldn't be in this position today, okay? I knew once I bought the properties and then I was holding them for a while, I got to the point where I realized, yes, I think I've made a mistake and I know how to fix this. And it was honestly the hardest decision I had to make to sell those properties, but ultimately I knew if I did it, it would take me to the next level, and it did. It did. If I stayed there, I would have been in a much different position today. Today, my property portfolio is worth $3.5 million, and if I stayed with those first 2 properties, I would only have 2 properties, and I would be stuck there, and the portfolio would only be worth around $800,000, $900,000. So that's a big difference, right? And that's what taking action does, right? It's okay to make mistakes, but take action. Don't sit on the sidelines. Don't be scared to make mistakes. Ultimately, the reason we invest in property is to become financially free, to make a better life for ourselves. And what I've learned in life is if I want to get a result as fast as possible, well, if I want to get a result, I have to either learn and understand what it is that I'm doing, or I need to find an expert and pay an expert to show me how to do it the best way, right? So for example, I'm an expert in investing in property, positive cash flow properties, and getting a 100% cash on cash return in my residential property portfolio. But if I was to invest in commercial real estate, yes, it is investing and yes, it is real estate, but commercial real estate is a whole nother beast. And I understand that and I respect that. And I know if I was to invest in commercial property, I would either need to extensively educate myself so I understand what it is that I'm investing in and all the risks associated with it. You know, the risk is not understanding that risks aren't risky. Not understanding risk is risky, okay? So I understand in residential property, I understand the risks associated with the investing, but if I was to, as quickly as possible, be successful, and I didn't want to make mistakes as I did with my personal residential property portfolio, I would employ an expert in commercial property to help me navigate and be successful if I was to choose to grow my property portfolio further into commercial. Okay, so the point of this video is I just wanted to say, I know investing in property is scary, but what is more scary than taking the risk of investing in property is being confined and stuck to working a job until you're 65, at which point you can then retire and take your superannuation, which let's be real, it's not a whole lot of money to retire on. I really don't like the idea of retiring on a dwindling nest egg, like an amount of money that is not appreciating in value, an amount of money that you actually spending and taking out of, which will eventually be nothing. When I retire, I want to hold assets that are appreciating in value, like property, and live off the passive income, which is the rental income. So I don't get to a point where I literally have nothing left, because who knows how long you're going to live, and you don't want to be stressing about money when you're at the end of your life. You want to do all the things you want to do, and let's be real, you need money to do those things. All right, guys, see ya.